Okay, but did you stop and say, hey, it's me?
No, it's so funny because I hadn't seen them in years. Like, they didn't recognize me. They were like, you are glowing. What's your secret? And I said, honey, I'm healing.
So excited
for
this session, this episode.
I have been looking forward to this all freaking day because it has just been like the little bucket at the end of my rainbow. And I'm just so excited. I think this is going to be a really fun one. I'm really excited to see where our conversation goes.
Me too. Well, with that said, welcome back, guys. You're listening to Honey, I'm Healing. This is one of your co-hosts, Irina.
And this is Renee. Welcome back. I texted Irina yesterday. We were texting back and forth about something. I don't remember what. And she asked me a question, and my response was, I think we need to make an ode to Jesse McCartney. And I think that that's pretty just indicative of the level of, what's the word? My brain can't even comprehend words right now. And I just said, my brain is mush right now.
You kind of have been mush this week.
I have. It is so bad. Like,
but
what is that word where you're like tired, delirious? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been there a couple times together.
That's the place to be, really. But okay, first things first. Story time.
Oh, okay.
So Renee, first of all, Renee is on 3 hours of sleep. I did not fall asleep until 3 o'clock in the morning. One of the things that I was doing at 3 a.m. was just scrolling, because that's what you do. And I come across these TikToks about icebreakers, and I was like, oh, this will be good. Mm-hmm. So one of them was, what is the most useful thing that you have committed to memory? And mine immediately popped into my head, and I'm still laughing about it. So what is yours? Because I have to know.
Useful or useless?
Useless. Sorry. Yeah, useless. It's like something dumb that you remember.
I don't even know if you classify this as information, but like as soon as you told me that icebreaker today, the first thing that came to my head is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
I
love that.
I didn't even know that was from a song. Because I lived in California, I thought it had something to do with California because of the Cala.
Oh, Cali.
Yeah.
Mine is, I know. Okay, so I was a theater kid when I was really little. And one of the first plays that I was in was this mashup of Schoolhouse Rock. So I can sing the entire preamble to the United States Constitution. And you would never think that came in handy until that fated day in business law at University of Tennessee, where it was a extra credit question on one of our exams. Like, what is the beginning words of the preamble? And I said, this is the moment I was made for. Of course I got it right, but
wow.
I know. So I've been singing it in my head this whole day.
But that's not useless information. That's actually very useful.
For that one instant. And I'm talking, this was easily 15 plus years ago, and I still remember it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I have a very hard time remembering anything, so.
Tell me about it. I'm at the point now, this is so humbling, where I'm making the text on my screen bigger.
Yeah. I was just outside, and I couldn't tell if the neighbor was smiling at me or just looking in a different direction because she's so blurry across the street, but I still waved.
You're just being friendly.
Yeah.
That's funny. I live for awkward moments like that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about icks. And it's so funny because my list was way too long. And I had to dial it back for a second. And I was just like, you know what? I think a lot of these are just pet peeves. And it's not something that I viscerally have a reaction to. So I've filtered it somewhat.
Mm-hmm. I feel like before I can even say my icks, like, I think everyone kind of has a different definition of an ick. Because, like you said, it could be a pet peeve, but a pet peeve isn't something that makes you emotionally distance yourself from someone. Right?
Yeah.
But like an ick, especially early on in a relationship, some women like completely end it because of an ick. And there are some really dumb icks out there.
Oh, yeah. Like waiting in line.
Shut up. That's on my list.
Okay. I'll say this one thing. A lot of the icks that I have are because of a specific memory with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had that ick before of standing in line. But it was with my very first boyfriend. And I think I was in 8th grade. And everything is icky when you're in 8th grade. Everything you do is. And that kind of goes off of, I'm curious to you said that you had researched a little bit of the psychology behind icks. So what did you find? Because I have a couple things, but I know you probably went into the neurology.
Well, I actually kind of have known this for a while because I became super aware of icks in high school. And I thought like something was wrong with me. I was like, why do I feel like this as soon as I become emotionally close to a guy? Because everybody gave me the ick. All the guys gave me the icks. I was like, ew. But like they were really nice guys. I really liked them as friends. But then as soon as, you know, they make a move or try to ask you out, they do something. And then I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Immediately repulsed.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I actually like did the research on this way back when I was like 18. And I looked it up on TikTok again because that's kind of where I do a lot of my research.
Of course.
And so what I found, and this is kind of what I've thought too, it's a defense mechanism against like being seen and vulnerable. And it typically is in people who may have like an avoidant attachment style. And and like just have a hard time sometimes being emotionally available or vulnerable. But like to get even a little bit deeper, what I think, and like this might be, and I don't think this is for all the icks. I think this is for those that like make you want to end the relationship because it shouldn't be that deep. An ick shouldn't be that deep to end a relationship. But getting the ick essentially validates your inability to connect and be emotional or physically intimate. You can't see that person as a human and who they are, and instead what you are doing is looking for the very thing that they lack that doesn't validate your belief you have for yourself. And then you get the ick.
Well, that's rude.
Wait, I'm rude, or when people do that?
Just that whole truth right there hit me like a ton of bricks. Thankfully, you warned me. I'm
saying like I actually, you know, I've heard of a girl say before, like someone who really values how they dress and the brand of clothing they wear, and that's kind of connected to their ego. If you like someone and then they like have one mistake where they wear something that doesn't look right, doesn't fit the belief you have on what is like valued or worthy, you get the ick. Therefore, you're validating that belief you have that like, this is what I believe about myself, and you project that onto others.
That makes so much sense.
Did you think about it that way?
Irina, literally one of my icks is when people wear men wearing something with a brand super big on it and trying to get clout from wearing a brand. Like, anything that's like Nike. Like, I don't want your shirt to scream at me. I really don't. Like, it's too much. And
well, but like people maybe who sometimes wear really big, like they want their brand to show, they're probably not people you're attracted to anyways, because they tend to have that like, look at me, look at my brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said skinny jeans, like super tight skinny jeans.
Moto jeans, those are horrible. Those had a moment though, back when we started church planting. Do you remember how popular those were?
No, I don't know what moto jeans are.
Every preacher had, if you'll know.
Do you want to guess why I say skinny jeans? Or pants, skinny pants?
If I had to guess why you had that, it's because you like really masculine men that are muscular, and skinny jeans look like chicken legs, and you don't want that.
Oop, there it is.
I feel like your man needs to have legs that are similar to a Clydesdale. That's kind of, they need to be toned and built, and that's kind of what I envision for you.
So yeah, I have the same problem that I read about when I said the psychology thing.
Well, for me, so I was listening to a podcast earlier about this just to kind of get some ideas too. And one of the things that they said was, it said that our ick is a self-preservation technique to avoid seeming uncool. Icks can stem from contempt for a person. The ick is correlated with insecurity and immaturity. For instance, our ick list from our 20s will look a lot different in our 30s. That, I will say, very much true for me. And I associate an ick with having a visceral, like, bodily reaction. Like, I am repulsed. I am disgusted. And upon reflection, I'm able to pinpoint exactly why that is.
Yeah.
Which is both good and bad. But
I also read that an ick, when I say read, guys, I heard it on TikTok. I heard, and I don't know if I believe this, but she said that's like your gut, your body telling you like this person's not right for you. I don't think that's true though, because I think sometimes a lot of our icks are just immaturity within ourselves, because not everyone has the same icks.
So true. So what is another one of your icks?
And these, for me, these are icks. Like, I haven't had an ick in a very long time. There's nothing about my husband that gives me the ick. He gives me all the wows.
All the green flags.
All the green, some beige.
I love it.
Watching guys dance. That's so sad, but like, not all guys, but just like guys who like are really trying to dance with a girl who's like not into them.
What would you have done if TikTok dances were a thing in high school?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Watching guys dance on TikTok, like,
it's such a turn off. Oh my gosh.
And I don't mean like that little funny dance with your daughter or your wife.
No.
Like the ones that really get into it.
They're like do 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 do, like that, like the 2020 quarantine dances. That's what I think of, like the ones that are viral.
Shirtless too.
Yeah.
And they're like 19. Yes. Didn't you do that?
Yeah.
What was that thing that was like, stop.
I know they're like mewing. That's I don't know. Kids these days.
Yeah.
I'm officially old. That now I just said that. Those words escaped my mouth. I'm officially old. One of my icks. Irina, you're not gonna like this. Men that are too nice.
That's funny because that was also on my list of things I hate girls have icks for.
Okay, but think about how well you know me. It's we're working on it. Honey, I'm healing. We're working on it.
Like when? When are they too nice that it gives you the ick?
There's something in me that nice men are boring to me. And I mean, like, so this is kind of like a sub bullet point to this is men that are very physically affectionate to me, like very touchy, like physical touch, cuddly. I cannot cuddle. No. When I am sleeping, do not touch me. Like sacred time.
Oh, no.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm not. I'm not in agreement with that.
Really?
Well, what's funny is one of my icks is like things moving too fast or being like super physically affectionate, but that's like in the first month. That's not now. No, I'm good. I'll take the affection. Oh, don't you love cuddles at night?
I'm not a hug person. Nothing about me says bring it in. You know, I could not even tell you the last time someone hugged me.
So if someone cuddles you at night, that gives you the ick? Or just a pet peeve?
If it's like 5 minutes or less, I'm good. I'm okay with that. But if it's like I want to hold you through the night to the point where we are exchanging sweat and like
of
no,
course not.
No.
Yeah. But I think that's just like a normal thing.
Yeah. And a lot of it too is, I mean, I haven't been in a relationship since I came back into my body. But think about that. The last time I was like really seriously in a relationship, I was so far dissociated from my body. So having any kind of touch was weird for me because like I could feel it, but I couldn't. And that was a time.
I get that.
Yeah. But I think a lot of that too is just the fact I didn't grow up in a really affectionate home. And I don't know. That's one of them. One of my other ones is when men wear flip-flops. And I'm talking like between the toe flip-flops. Not slides, flip-flops.
Hold on, pause. I brought a little show and tell souvenir for us from Australia. Matt has had these.
I was going to say, are those
a decade?
Are those the like Havanas or however you say it? Well, that's a cultural thing. I'll give that to him.
You know, when I met him and I saw him wearing those, I was like, I don't remember the last time I ever saw a man wear them.
Let alone in the South.
That's all they wear in Australia. Mm-hmm. So would it give you the ick watching Matt wear those?
No. I'm also not attracted to Matt.
Well, that's true.
I mean, thank God for that. That would be really awkward. This kind of trickles into, I put an ick and then I immediately remembered a conversation that you and I and Matt had kind of, in extension, Matt had when I was there staying with you last. Because I put men that wear necklaces. And then I remember that you had said, like, you called him Chain Daddy or something like that. Or like, what was it that you called him?
Yes, it's Chain Daddy because he got like the most beautiful gold chain in Australia, and it like hangs right here. It's just
okay.
That's why we call him Chain Daddy.
So if it's like a subtle chain, I'm okay with that. Like Harry Styles wearing a pearl necklace.
Oh.
No. I like the Met Gala just happened. Charlie Hunnam, who he's from Sons of Anarchy. He wore his partner is a jewelry designer, and she made him this beautiful necklace. And I was like, I can appreciate that on its own, but around your neck, it looks goofy.
I've never seen a man wear anything but like a cross or a chain, though. But I would agree. But like, I think a lot of things about the way Harry Styles dresses, like,
Yes.
not attracted to it. If anyone is,
That's your own piece of that pie. Not for me.
that was my ick. Side note, have you seen all the Hunger Game videos about like boycotting celebrities from the Met Gala?
Yes,
Because
I saw the one that you
were
shared on TikTok.
there's so many protesters there that were standing outside the Met Gala, just like all this money that could be used to, help support people who are dying, and celebrities are showing up to the Met Gala looking like dystopian Hunger Game capital
It's
people.
true. It's true. Well, I'm curious to see kind of what that landscape will look like as time evolves, because I feel like, 100 years ago, even 20 years ago, award shows had this bigger audience, or this, they were more revered and they were a bigger deal. And don't get me wrong, I love to watch red carpets because I think that that's a really great way to display clothing is art. And I think that's beautiful to me. But I can totally understand why people are upset about that.
Well, there was this one celebrity who had a $22,000 purse with her, but it was a block of ice. She paid someone $22,000.
I was going to say, a lot of times, like, designers will just loan things to a celebrity. That happens quite often, actually. But for someone to pay for $22,000 for a block of ice,
You ain't giving that back. It's a puddle out on the streets in New York City now.
yeah, someone's dog's lapping that up right now. What are what are some other icks that you had?
So icks. I think my icks that I have on here now are from like a couple years. The rest of my icks I have are from a couple years ago, when like I did go on a date with these two guys. One was he requested I drive. Like, we met up. Oh, there were two icks. There were a lot of icks there, actually. We met up at the park and like we're walking around, and then we got hungry, and I was like, oh, like let's go grab some takeout and come back and eat it here. And like, there was no initiation for him to drive, choose the place. It was a lot of like, who should drive? Well, you can drive. Okay, fine, I can drive. I don't have a problem with that. Maybe his car was messy and he like
Okay, but plan ahead. I mean,
yeah, agreed. So I was like, whatever, no big deal. And then we get there and I pay for the whole thing.
stop.
So like, to me, that's like, come on, like, this is your time to shine and show like your masculine providing energy. Yeah, no, that was a big no. That I ended that one quickly. Another time, so guys who like won't drive you and who don't pay for your meal. Those are like really reasonable icks.
Yeah. I think so. Those personally, like, I 100% agree with you. I think I am super traditional with dating. Women need to be courted. They deserve to be respected and have things paid for, right? But I also acknowledge that a lot of people don't hold that same belief. So I could see why if you drove, he would buy coffee or whatever. I feel like that's equitable. That's equal to me.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to split the bill on a date, I would do that. But
yeah. But I'm not going to be as attracted to you as much as someone who's like, baby, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
In this economy, I mean, no, but it's hard out here being single.
Yeah.
No, but I totally get that. Totally get that.
Yeah, that's just like, to me, that makes me feel like I have to step into my masculine energy, and we're not trying to be.
No, you already have a child. Well, you had a child when you were dating. You know,
Yeah.
you don't need another one.
Yeah.
Like a man child, I should say.
Mm-hmm. So another ick is, this actually happens, it probably happened every time, because I think most guys, I'm less affectionate in the first like couple dates than I think men are naturally, because
Yeah.
that's just how they are. Putting your arm around me like right away and like down on my waist, like to me that's
Nope.
just like no, like don't
Like
touch
you
me.
don't know me.
Yeah. I don't know if this is an ick, but it is something that has happened. Like, we had eaten a pretty heavy meal right before, so I got a water, and he was like, oh, well, at least I know you're a cheap date. I was like,
Next time, okay, have you ever seen the movie White Chicks?
yeah, years ago.
So, like, that reminded me of the scene where Terry Crews is out with one of the white chicks or whatever, and he's like, she'll have a salad, and she goes, perhaps that not, and then she's like, I'll have this and like the steak, and I could just picture you doing that, or like I would out of spite, but I'm a
I
lot
think
more
he was trying to
cognitive.
be funny. Yeah,
Read the room.
because he is such a sweet guy.
He is.
He really was. I really wanted it to work
I
because he was
know.
so sweet.
Hey,
He
I would
gave
have
me
loved
the
it. I would have
icks a
loved it.
lot.
Oh, for sure.
He
That's
really,
one of
yeah.
that's one of my icks is like really toxic masculinity,
Mm,
and that individual definitely
really?
kind of a little bit.
How
I think it
so?
teetered on like
Mm,
being chivalrous and then being really toxic masculinity.
mm. I don't know. I didn't get to know him that
That's
well.
true.
Once the ick hit,
You split.
girl, that's so
I'm a
good.
poet, you know?
I love it. Give me yours.
Gum. Specifically cinnamon gum. Anybody. That's an anybody thing. That's not just a dating. I think gum is the most pointless invention because it doesn't go anywhere. You just chomp at it.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
sticky. It's messy. I don't like the shriveled feeling like as it skates across my tongue. And I think about I think about that happening in other people's mouth.
Mm,
It makes me queasy, quite frankly.
mm.
So there's that.
You just
What were,
reminded me of one. You go.
tell me. No, tell me. I don't want you to lose
I
yours.
feel so bad because Matt would do this and it actually gave me the ick. Like, we'd order food and then, like, he just starts eating off your plate without even asking. But, like, I would tell him, I'd be like, stop, I don't like that. But, like,
Good.
that's so mean because he just paid for it.
That's fine. He can pay for a side of fries for himself.
Yeah. I still tell him that.
Guys that aren't handy. I said it's an immediate ick when I can fix something that they can't.
Oh, yeah.
Another one of mine is anger management issues.
Woo! Yes, ma'am. Angry drivers.
That, or if they're rude to a server
Mm-hmm.
or any kind of person in customer service, I think that speaks volumes on someone's patience and their kindness and their emotional availability. And that I wish I would have known that sooner. I'm also really curious to see kind of how this list will evolve or dissipate as I open myself up to dating again at some point.
Well, I'm interested in seeing that too, Renee.
I feel like you are going to put on sunglasses and like a hat and camp out like 3 tables away from me. You're gonna get those sunglasses, or you're gonna get those glasses with like the mirrors on the side, like the spy kits that they used to sell.
I will.
I could totally see that.
I will. and then I want to go on a double date
Yeah.
and play therapist. I'm kidding. No,
Tell me
I'll
about
be a friend.
tell me about your deepest wound.
No. This is so funny. One time me and my friend, we were at this bar and she like talking to someone and they were dancing and having fun, whatever. Like they're so cute. They were having fun. And then she dead stops him in his tracks and like whispers in his ear and asks him, "What's your Enneagram number?" We were dying. Like us and the rest of our friends were like, after she came up, we were like, "What were you guys talking about? You looked so deep in conversation. Like, was he saying you're cute?" And she's like,
"He's a 6. Bye." Like,
yeah. She's like, "No, I asked him his Enneagram number." And I was like, "Did he know what it was?" She goes, "No, I had to explain it to him all." And we were like, "No."
He wasn't the one.
Knowing
She's
the
a
Enneagram.
literal angel, though.
Yeah. I actually told Matt all about the Enneagram and made him take the test.
What number is he?
First day I met him. He's an 8.
Yes. I could see that.
Yeah. But he loved it.
It's a super helpful tool.
Mm-hmm. Which leads me into another ick of mine is men who like are not emotionally intelligent or cannot
That's
have
one of
deep
mine.
conversations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's stew on that a little bit because it is a shared ick. Why does that come up for you?
Because I want to have deep conversations. I want to have like theoretical conversations and I want to learn about myself. I want this person to help me be a catalyst, like this person to be a catalyst for my own growth. I want to inspire this person. I want them to inspire me. And you can't do that with someone who has no emotional intelligence or cannot get on that deep of a level.
Could not agree more. I think for me, it's if you can't hold my mind, how are you going to hold my heart?
Yeah.
If you can't stay curious about something and pursue knowledge or other viewpoints or things like that, like just show interest in something and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's not going to work.
That one's a big one for me.
The guy who didn't drive us or pay for the meal also lacked deep conversational
So what did he bring to that date? Let's be real. Other than probably, himself, obviously.
I really liked his name. I thought it was cute. He was sweet, but I inspired him because now he like does like fitness coaching with people and he really loved fitness. And I was like, why don't you like, like you should do this and you should do this and you should do this. Literally a week later, he started offering things and he was like, thank you. You've like inspired me. Now he's like a bodybuilder and does competitions and gives people like programs. So
only you would go on a date with somebody and change their life and still know all of that information and like follow them and be like, look at you
it's
go.
Super mutual. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm proud. I love inspiring people. And this kind of goes with my next one and with the one we just talked about, like men or guys, I wouldn't call them men, who have no drive and like do not want to level up in their life. Like towards anything.
I would tend to agree. If it's for a season, like if you're going through something, I totally get it.
Oh, yeah.
But like,
of course.
If it's like a consistent thing where you just want to rot on the couch, bye.
Yeah. I think I'm just a go person in life.
You are a go person. That's your 3.
So, yeah. I need someone who can... I need someone. I have someone. Yeah, but like was not attracted to.
I have a question for you. So,
okay.
And this is just purely an exercise of curiosity. Who could you see me ending up with? What does he look like? What are his characteristics?
Is this going to go on the podcast?
That's TBD. but we'll decide later, depending on your answer.
I almost see you with like, you know how they say, what's a man as a dog type? Like a little bit of golden retriever, just a little bit. And then someone who can be so nerdy and silly. Like, I can't imagine what they would look like. Obviously, to get you, they're going to have to be a catch. So,
thank you.
I don't know what they're going to look like or the physical stuff, but they have to be nerdy. They have to be a good listener. Mm-hmm. They have to have like deep conversations and have a little bit of golden retriever energy.
To match up with the days that I get 3 hours of sleep and respond after looking at one word of a text message with something about Jesse McCartney. Yeah. Your response to that text message quite literally was one of my favorite things that I've ever read.
I had no idea what you were talking about. I was like, okay, LOL.
I know, you're like, I was laughing along with you on that one, but no, and you're like, that's my favorite version of Renee, unfortunately. And then I said, chaos suits me.
It is. I think it's real and raw.
Yeah.
What do you think about my answer?
I think it's really spot on. I was not sure what you were going to say.
Could you see yourself with the silly golden retriever?
They have nerdy? To be. They have to be. And I'll leave nerdy loosely open to interpretation, but I think they have to have a hyperfixation to match with mine or something like that.
When I think of nerdy, I think intelligence. I don't think physical. I think like
not a Trekkie.
Hyper.
Yeah. That's good.
And you'll attract that. I think those are things that complement you. Because you're not really a golden retriever.
Because I'm dumb. No, just kidding.
You're more of a black
Labrador.
Cat. You are
literally
a black cat.
I am a black cat. I hate cats, though. That was one of my icks that I took off. Cat people. I can't. I don't trust them.
That's all of mine.
I have 1,000 more. We don't really have to get into it. One of them is, I saw this one that someone had posted, and I joined in an agreement on it. Men that follow Instagram models or really trashy Instagram accounts or just lack that discretion or taste.
Men who like pursue, I really could care less if they're like single and do that, don't care, but who pursue that while in a relationship. Mm-hmm. But like I wouldn't even be close enough to have that ick because I know like that kind of person already has a whole energy about them that you notice when you're with them. Ooh, an ick when guys like feed off girls like checking them out or like they're excited or like
they get that validation.
Yeah.
Like,
that's weird.
So-and-so checked me out in aisle 3 at the supermarket.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
I think those are grounds to walk away.
Yeah, you're trying to make me jealous. I'm not. But one of the other icks that I have is when, and this is just a universal thing, when someone yucks someone else's yum. When you put down someone for enjoying something, which is kind of hypocritical of me to say in this podcast session. I'm just kind of realizing that. But I say all of this with love. And I will say this list is subject to change, and it likely will. And as I was writing this out, I felt so convicted of just like, this is all mean. And I bet you if I met the right person and they had something like this, it's not something like I would be incapable of overlooking. And I think it would probably be good for me to have someone have one of these to work through. But
I feel like all the icks we've said, I expect someone else, a male, to have about us reciprocated. Like I would hope, you know, that the person I'm with isn't like, it doesn't love me getting excited that someone's checking me out like that.
well, I think it goes back to kind of what you said about what you value.
Like, but I feel like these are valid icks we have. They're not shallow as far as like seeing a guy stand in line, seeing him jump on a trampoline. Like those are,
Wearing
I think,
no-show socks.
Yeah, like come on, girls. Come on.
Those are, yeah.
No. Like that's putting men down for
Well, I
them
think,
enjoying life and just being themselves.
yeah, I think if you would have asked me what my icks were 10 years ago, it probably would have been something like that. But I think that goes back to my emotional maturity then.
Agreed.
Because I remember the very first time that I got an ick, and it, like I said, it was with my very first boyfriend in 8th grade. And now seeing someone stand in line, like all it does is just make me think of when I had that ick about that person. I don't think it's icky now to stand in line. Well, I guess it depends on what they're standing in line for, but that's a whole other.
That's so good. Well, there's actually one more thing I want to discuss about icks, and this is the truest way I still experience icks. I don't remember, like, I really haven't had a genuine ick in years, but I still get them all the time when I read books. Okay. Because like I try to emotionally connect to books or like the characters in a book, and there are some authors who they try to write these spicy books and it is just so cringe.
Give me an example
of a book, or
like what you're.
So in the spicy scenes, like the guys specifically, when authors immediately give a guy's point of view of how much he wants to bang her or objectify her, or like, to me, that's just no. And I've read some of this stuff to Matt, and I'm like, is this really what a guy thinks the first, second, third time he's met a girl? And he was like, I absolutely not. Like, those are some like really weak-minded men who choose to view a girl. And I'm talking about like, what's this book? We had it for book club once, and I was like, this is foul. I prefer them. Huh?
I was gonna say, was it a Tessa Bailey book? Because that kind of sounds like something she would write.
Well, they're all like that. Like right now, I'm reading Icebreaker, and it's just like,
of course, it's about hockey and it's about a romance.
Right
Full
away.
circle.
Right away, they like, and like they're so aggressive in their words in these spicy scenes, and I'm like, cringe.
Okay, so who's a book boyfriend that you like then?
Oh, Reese.
I could say that. I could see that. I have full confidence that you know who I would say.
Edward Cullen.
Of course.
Yes. He was a gentleman.
He was.
See, really, you do like nice guys. You do like nice guys.
Yeah, but he has like an edginess. Like, he's interesting.
So you like mysterious.
I do. I like very broody. That's probably the best way to put it. I like broody guys. You like not broody like brute, but like broody, like moody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my icks from books. And like when they lack communication and they're suffering in something, but like they just completely lack going and asking her, hey, is this true? Like, do people like that exist? Where do these authors get these ideas from? Because not in my world do I.
Well, it just makes me think of I see hockey TikToks every now and then, and it's like people making fun of them. It's all satire, but they're like, so do you want to like go in my back seat? Like, that gives very much that vibe. And that's 100% me too. Like, no,
Yes.
I don't want to go in your backseat.
And then I find it so hard to connect to these books, but a lot of women do, and like a lot of my friends do, and no shame to them, but
Hey,
I don't know why I don't. I can't. I need this. I like my romance books to be super slow burn, and like don't even talk about it. Like show, not tell.
well, I think that's what A Court of Mist and Fury did so well is the
Mm-hmm.
whole that the first book really built up their connection emotionally, and then that's why what she did in that book, in that scene, and I know what scene you're talking, like, what scene I'm talking about. It was tasteful while still being spicy, but
Yeah, it was love.
it was like a very accurate depiction, I would say, of
Mm-hmm.
what most other authors try to replicate.
Mm-hmm. And ironically, she has to say very little about spice or use very little provocative words to show it, and she does.
Mm-hmm. And that's being a good author, and that's why
Yeah.
she's killing the game right now.
Yeah.
Well, this was so fun.
This was cool. Might get some hate from this one, hopefully.
Oh yeah. Will we be canceled? 50% chance. But it's fine.
Yeah. Everyone's getting canceled these days.
That's true. It gives us street cred.
Yeah.
No, but I'm curious. What do you guys think? What are some of your icks? Let us know.
I'd say we were pretty like mild here compared to what we've seen on TikTok, and I'll read the comments and like everyone's like agreeing, and I'm like, whoa.
Do you see that one where there was a guy, or there's like a 250 page or bullet note? It's like, guys can't walk in the park. They can't go on a picnic. They can't. Like, that's sad.
That is sad. Did you watch any like that icks guys have? I think they're very valid in the ones I've seen. Like when she has an attitude. Yeah, I don't like anyone having an attitude with me either. When she is passive aggressive. Would you know it? Me too. I don't like people who are passive aggressive.
Yeah.
But guys tend to think more logically than we do, so.
And that's their downfall. That's boring. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Renee has some healing she still needs to do.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Honey, I'm healing. We're working on it.
Honey, I'm healing.
All right.
Well, cool.
Well, this was so fun. I'm sure, Irina, if you think of any more, let me know, because I just have to know.
I'm out. Like, it really did take a lot for me to think about these because I haven't been in that mind scene for a long time.
Well, if I think of any more, I'll let you know, because I'm sure it'll be 3 a.m. tonight. All right. We'll talk later.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you next week.